watching an old episode of Gomer Pyle. Remember Gomer Pyle?
Yeah.
The other, and Gomer's like, surprise, surprise, surprise.
That's kind of what we're talking about.
I know.
Because, the Backstreet Boys are. You heard about it.
Backstreet is back. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
Do it again. What now?
No, it's all right.
Okay.
Once is enough.
Okay. I think so, too. Anyway, so one of the guys in the Backstreet Boys, Nick Carter,
Yes.
his wife was in the news this week talking about she did not know she was pregnant with their third child for 5.5 months.
Yeah, they had a miscarriage or something like that.
They did. They
Yeah.
had some issues. And in fact, her doctor had said, you know what, it's most likely that you're not going to be able to have more children. They had 2 children already. And so that was kind of not in what she thought was going to be their plan.
Yeah, so it wasn't even in her thought.
No.
This is done. It's,
Yeah. But she said I had no symptoms at all, which to me, I've, got 3 children.
Yes.
Every single one of them, my number one tip symptom was I got extremely sick. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, here we go. Honey, guess what? Because I was so sick with both the boys especially. But so that was my first indication that we were going to have a child. And then, of course, it was. But I want to know, how did you know you were expecting? What was the tip-off? Did you... I've heard that people get faint sometimes. They'll pass out. Exactly. But I do see that as an old 50s sitcom that, oh my, I've got the vapors, I'm falling out. But I've never known anybody to have that happen to them, so.
Or maybe it was a surprise for you. And you went along and maybe you knew it before, but then all of a sudden. Hey, honey, guess what?
That's a massive indigestion. 1-800-447-7234. Give us a call. Give us a text. Let us know.
His morning crew.
Imagine the surprise when Backstreet Boys' wife, Nick Carter, found out that she was pregnant 5.5 months in. And so we're wondering, how did you know when you were pregnant?
Yeah, I was early on, probably 5-6 weeks around there, and just was sick as a dog.
You knew it.
Yeah, even with Taylor, my first, and I was like, something is not right here. So there you go. But Dawn, she texted in and said, my legs, I've never heard of this, my legs itched like crazy with both of her kids.
Oh, my legs have been itching lately. I hope I'm not. I think I'm so. All right. Got a call. How did you know you were pregnant?
So I actually just found out. I am only 5 weeks today. I haven't told anybody yet.
Uh-oh. So tell me, how did you find out?
So I'm a nurse, and I'm very in tune to my vital signs, and I could tell because my heart rate was higher than it usually is. And usually when you're pregnant, one of the ways you can tell is your heart rate gets a little bit higher to compensate for being pregnant. And so I felt that it was a little higher last week, and I said, well, I wonder. And so I took 2 pregnancy tests, and it lit up like a Christmas tree.
Well, congratulations.
Yes,
for
congratulations.
Sure.
I love how you're so in tune with your
you.
body and you knew that. So congratulations.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Finding out like you were expecting. How did that work for you? So Covey texted, and kind of like me, she was very, very sick at the beginning. And she said, so that's how I knew, I because I'm not a person who gets sick. But Angel said she knew her body so well that as soon as things changed, she was like, pretty sure.
All right. Catherine, what was it about your body when it changes? What happened?
I knew I was pregnant at about 5 weeks.
How did you know?
I was driving up to Ohio, and I had my window down because it was summertime. And I was like, I smell honeysuckle. A couple miles down the road, I smell garlic bread. My sense of smell was heightened.
Which is a thing. It's a big thing when you're pregnant. Like I call it the super sniffer. I remember that.
Yes.
Wow. So how many kids do you have now? And did you have that same sort of feeling with all of them if you have more than one?
I have 2 kids, and they will be 9 and 8 next month. And I did. Now, with my second, it was more of a dislike of certain smells.
Okay, so the super sniffer worked the other way. Instead of enhancing it, it was like, ugh.
Yes, very much so.
Catherine, thank you so much for calling. You have a great weekend.
You as well. Thank you.
Bye.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
If you need a job, there is a job available for you. Listen up, because it's going to be fun. It is the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
My baloney has a first name. It's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a second name. It's M-A-Y-E-R. Oh, I love to eat it every day. And if you ask me why, I say... 'Cause Oscar Mayer has a way with B-O-L-O-G-N-A.
All righty then.
Yeah!
Oh, my goodness gracious. Okay, so Oscar Mayer, we won't sing it again. The Wienermobile needs drivers.
Really?
Yeah, they are looking for their next brand ambassador. And I have seen the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile come through town before.
It's the freakiest thing to be on the interstate and have that thing pass you. It's crazy. It's like the Wienermobile.
Can you imagine, and all of us have done it. You're in an argument with maybe the spouse or somebody, and you're just in that, which we shouldn't be on the phone with. And then this thing passes you. It's got to break the mood.
Yeah.
Right? It spreads joy. It has to. Well, they're opening the jobs for recent college graduates.
Ooh.
And the position is going to be a full year long. If I could have had this as my first job.
Would you have done that?
In a heartbeat, you get to see the country on somebody else's dime, and it probably doesn't pay a whole lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, you make some. I scooped ice cream.
Oh.
Yeah, at 14, that was really my first, I guess, paying job or whatever, at a convenience store at Little Cricket.
See, my knees are hurting now. My back's been hurting, and I think it was because I did furniture. I delivered furniture. That was
I thought you built furniture.
No, you don't want me to build no furniture. So, no, I delivered. And it was right when water beds were starting to become real popular. And so, oh, man, we used to deliver and set up water beds. And
Well, I want to know. So we're talking about our first jobs.
Yeah.
What was your first job?
Okay.
800-447-7234. Get in on the conversation.
Yeah, you could be a wiener. I mean,
Mobile.
all right.
Mornings with Rob and Liz.
My son, Luke,
Yeah.
I got him his first job. He worked for a radio station.
Oh, I wonder how that worked out.
I know, right? He enjoyed it. He ran football games for 9 hours on a Saturday.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he literally was able to study and push buttons and get a paycheck. So not a bad gig. I wish I'd have had that gig at that age. But so Michelle said, my first job was at McDonald's, and I still have great memories of that job from 30 years ago.
Oh, I know. I remember people said McDonald's, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean.
Oh, I like that. Hey, I need to implement that at home. Let's see. Jared says, my first job was trimming and shaping Christmas trees, made $5 an hour, and felt absolutely rich.
Okay, Donna, how about you?
I was probably 13, and I had a paper route.
That is amazing. So did you ride your bike or anything like that on the paper route?
Yes, I did, and I had about 150 customers.
Oh, my goodness. Now, how long did it take you to do the paper route?
Probably about, once I folded the papers and got them ready to go, actually riding my bike, probably about an hour, hour and a half.
Oh, did you?
Every day.
I got to ask, how much money did you make doing it?
It wasn't much because what you had to do was I would get a bill every month for my papers, and then it was a matter of going around to each person or the customers and getting what they owed for the month, which I think back then was like $4.
Yeah.
So I might have got $60 a month.
So you were not only a paper carrier, you were a bill collector.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Donna, for calling in.
You're welcome.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Talking about jobs, I thought back, one of my early ones was roller skating DJ.
Oh, my.
Hey, this is a girls only skate this time. This is a backward skate. Couples only. Oh,
Couples
man.
only. Did you play the games? I remember.
Limbo. Roller skating limbo.
Oh, yeah, I was never
my
good at
God.
that.
Hello, can you go? Yeah.
We are talking first jobs. Justin said, my first job was at a stalker for a convenience store. It was slow. It was cold, but he kind of got to know the community, and just reminds him when he thinks back of kind of a simpler time. Jennifer texted, not talking about her job, but her 14-year-old. She said Ashley just started her first job working in the church nursery for special events. And what she gets to do is hug on all the babies and tell them all about Jesus. And, of course, Mama is super proud of that first job.
All right, Gary, how about you, that first job?
The first job I ever had was washing towels at the YMCA.
You know what? Why did I not even think that's a thing? It has to be a thing.
Yeah.
How did you?
Well, they use lots of towels, and back then, the Y washed their own towels as opposed to having the laundry deliver them. And so that was one of my first jobs, was washing towels at the YMCA.
I gotta know, because I don't know that was in the newspaper. Hiring towel washer. How did that job come about?
Well, a friend of mine, I was starting college, and a friend of mine was the health club director at the YMCA, and he said, "Hey, why don't you come in the afternoons and work in the health club and wash towels and whatever." So that was kind of a nice thing for a friend of mine to do.
His morning crew.
Sometimes I get so worn out, exhausted. I'm like, I'm not that old, man. Why am I so tired? So I try to do things that make me feel like a kid.
Ooh, like what?
I get made fun of. I like to jump in water puddles. If I see a water puddle, I like to just go over and splash around in them. And my husband looks at me like, really? Really? You're doing this? But you got to make sure you got your wellies on, of course, before you're jumping in the water puddles. But, what do you do?
Well, I don't know.
What?
So to make my wife laugh, I'll sometimes do an Urkel.
Do it.
I'll pull my britches up real high. Did I do that? and it's not only fun because it's like an Urkel thing.
Yeah.
But it reminds us of a pastor we used to have who wore the high pants. The high pants.
Yes.
She goes, "Please don't do that. I'm picturing brother so and so in his mind." So I'm like, okay. And
your pants come to mid chest.
Exactly.
They may be a little too high.
Exactly. So.
I love that. If you swing in the backyard.
Oh.
Have you been on a swing set in the last year? Let's just say.
No.
Try it.
Okay.
I know it's cold this weekend, but just bundle up, go get on a swing. It is so freeing. Now, don't jump like we used to do when we were kids. But it is so much fun. I want to know, what's that kind of thing that you do or have done recently that makes you feel like a kid?
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, put you in that mindset. Because I am still 16 in my brain. My body tells me constantly, no, you're not.
Yeah.
But I want to feel that way. So 1-800-447-7234.
His morning crew.
Trying to recapture.
Feeling like a kid.
I know. We're trying to recapture her youth a little bit. So I was thinking about what's something that I do to make me feel younger. And I like to splash. I honestly do. And just like water puddles, not mud puddles, but rain puddles.
Bubbles are fun too.
Bubbles are so much fun. When you go to a wedding and they have the bubbles at the end, I'm like, oh, this is the best part. I'm sorry. I love that you got, married, but I love the bubbles. Thanks so much. Diane texted and said, oh, yes, I love to swing. I'm in my 60s. My daughter yelled at my grandson the other day for splashing in a mud puddle or in a puddle, and I said, leave him alone. He's having fun. That's what kids are supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yes, Diane. Angel said, I chase birds. As a kid, I tried to catch them, but now she chases them so that she can take pictures of one. And it's cool when she finds a new one.
I'm just thinking of that Alfred Hitchcock movie.
Huh?
Remember? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's probably not the way she was going
not the
with
kind
that,
of bird you want to
Brian.
do. All right, Cindy, what do you do to stay young?
I'm climbing a tree, and I am way too old to be climbing a tree.
Do you climb trees, though?
Yes, and I'm 48 years old. But that's when I was little, there was this huge tree at my house, and then there was a huge one at my grandparents', and all of us cousins just climbed the tree and sit on branches for hours and talked and played or whatever. And when I see a tree that I can scale, I do it.
I love you so much right now, I can't even stand it. Thank you.
It's probably going to be, the death of me, but
you know what?
I'll at least be doing what I like.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Cindy. You have a great weekend.
Thank you. Y'all have a great Y'all too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mornings with Rob and Liz.
We're talking about staying young.
Yes. And if you could just, eat the things when you were a kid, but when you get to a certain age, maybe you can't. But if you're like some of these young video guys around, like Ian, what do you guys do? What do you do to stay young? So.
In order to stay young, we have our pantry and cupboards just stocked with SpaghettiOs and ramen and such. I mean, we're both in our 20s, but we still enjoy eating it. It's like on sale, 10 for 10. How can you not swoop that up?
Enjoy it now, boy.
In 10 years, your body's not going to let you do that as much. Hey, Cindy says, she texted and she said, you know what? I love playing with the 4-year-old twins. We play red light, green light, and freeze tag.
I have not heard about freeze tag in years.
We used to play cartoon tag. So when somebody came at you, you had to kind of drop and go, Scooby-Doo.
Ruh-roh.
Or Flintstones. And then Ella said in water aerobics yesterday, instead of doing the regular routine that the instructor was leading, she did her own dance because they were playing a song, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. You remember that one from back in the day?
Just want to have fun.
Yeah. So she did her own thing, and she sang at the top of her lungs off key. I love that.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, Connie, how do you stay young?
We put a zip line in the backyard for the grandchildren, and we go on the zip line. No toy is fun without a playmate.
That's right. How far is it off the ground?
It's probably about 8 feet, 8 to 12, something like that at one end, and then it gets closer on the other end, more like 6 feet.
Okay, Connie, you're a crazy woman. That's awesome.
No, I'm not.
She is having fun and staying young.
That's right. Besides that, what's the point of telling the grandkids, oh, look what we got for you, if you're not out there willing to show them how to use it?
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Hey, Brian.
Yes.
I'll take a single with cheese and an I love you.
Well, welcome to Wendy's.
Exactly.
Isn't that this incredible story about April Dodonna, who told a customer that she loved him after he ordered at Wendy's drive-thru. That's in Oak Harbor, Washington. So she said, I'm just going to start telling everybody that I love them.
How could that be a bad thing? You know,
No.
can you imagine? You go through a drive-thru, you've had a really hard day, or maybe you feel alone.
Yeah.
You know, and you just feel like the whole world is against me. And I mean, it's easy to feel that way recently, but you know what? She says to every person that comes through her drive-thru when she's working that station,
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
And people are saying it's meant the world to them.
Almost 2,700 people so far, she said this. And here's the amazing thing. There was this elderly lady who she says, the lady that said that, I want to see who it is.
Yeah.
And so she came out there and she says, nobody's told me that lately. See, her husband had died and it was a brother, I believe.
Yeah.
That she said, there's nobody in my life that I can tell this to and that can tell me they love me. It meant the world to me.
Like I'm starting to tear up, but she said, I love the people I see every day. She said, I have so much love
Yeah.
that it's overflowing so much. I've got to get it out for me,
Yeah.
but I got to make that impact on others. April, man, thank you so much for what you do.
Yeah, may it be our mission today to let others know that we love them.
Yeah, and if you need an I love you, I love you.
I love you too.
Mornings with Rob and Liz.
I know you guys are all the superhero and all those movies and
I know. And you're so like really not.
But this is pretty cool because
Yeah.
you know how they prepare themselves, how actors and actresses prepare themselves for roles. So Robert Pattinson's the new Batman, and so here's his workout plan to get ready to become Batman. Because you know, like Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, they've transformed their bodies in different ways. So here is what the Caped Crusader Robert Pattinson is doing. Okay,
Donuts.
Nope.
Really?
Processed meat out. Fried foods, out to to help with the transformation.
Sure.
Things in moderation. Okay. Now here is his workout. Are you ready? The transformation. He's doing some circuit training, running, and military style outdoor workouts, and not only that. Ooh, a little uppercut from Batman. He's doing a little boxing.
Is he boxing?
As well?
Now,
So-
that workout doesn't seem as extreme as, say, Hugh Jackman did for Wolverine. because you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. He would get up.
I thought he's had to grow his nails out
for years and years and years. He would like eat I think it was every 2 or 3 hours, like chicken and broccoli. His trainer would actually wake him up. His trainer lived with him and woke him up every couple of hours so that he could feed his body, and then like 4 workouts a day.
Yeah.
Would it be worth it to you? To make that kind of money?
Was Hugh Jackman really mean in that movie? Like
in Wolverine?
Yeah, was he
he has
just kind of on edge?
A gruff exterior, and but he has a tender heart.
No, I know what he is.
What?
He's hangry. That's what he is.
He probably was.